Old folks sleep less because they're afraid of dying. That's what people usually whisper to each other. They say that when your time is running out, you fear the dark. You fear that closing your eyes tonight might just be a long sleep you never wake up from. My 30-year-old son, who hurried back from New York this past Thanksgiving, looked at me with that same heartbreaking, hesitant gaze. At 4 a.m., he came down to the kitchen for water and stopped dead in his tracks, seeing me sitting alone, swallowed up by the armchair in the living room, staring blankly at the snow-covered lawn. He hesitated. "Why are you sleeping so little lately, Dad? Is something scaring you? Or is it—" He trailed off. In this country that worships youth, people always find ways to dodge the word death. He thought I was trembling, counting down my remaining days. He thought I was bracing myself, fighting against the inevitable. I looked up at him, then gently pushed an empty chair toward him. "No, my boy, you're wrong. And all those young folks out there are wrong too. When you've crossed over the hill of life, when you've wrung out your sweat and your youth for that so-called American dream out there, death sometimes is just the most complete and peaceful rest. We aren't gritting our teeth in fear of nature's law. The fact that those porch lights in this suburb suddenly flick on at 3 a.m., the fact that people with silver hair like mine silently wake up in the dead of night, cradling a quiet cup of chamomile tea, is actually a completely different secret. It's an agonizing secret of the flesh, and a silent pride that your youth hasn't quite grasped yet. At the exact hour the whole world falls asleep, when the central heating kicks in with that hum, inside the bodies of the old, a quiet rebellion is truly just beginning. You know, back in the day, when I was grinding it out at the stamping plant in the 80s, I could hit the pillow and sleep like a log until morning. But now, this machine is different. Inside our brains, there's a biological clock. Doctors call it the circadian rhythm. After over half a century of running non-stop, draining myself for the bills and the mortgage on this house, the gears of that clock are starting to rust. That stream called melatonin, the magical hormone that used to lull us into sweet sleep in our youth, is drying up now, drop by drop. And so, deep sleep, that healing sleep you still easily get every night, is stripped away. My sleep now is incredibly fragile. It's as thin as that first layer of snow out in the yard. Just a soft breath of wind is enough to melt it away. At this age, the body becomes a rather temperamental companion. A neighbor's dog barking, someone's footsteps on the wooden stairs, a sharp pain shooting through the knee from years of arthritis, or simply an overactive bladder waking you up, and just like that, the dream is snapped. It's not some vicious disease or psychological terror, my boy. It's just the natural physiology of a worn-out machine. We aren't purposely staying awake to fight off death. It's just that this physical body no longer lets us sink into those deep slumbers like we did in our 20s. So when the body is jolted awake in the middle of the night and the brain can't go back to sleep, what does it do? It starts projecting movies from the past. I sit here in the dark, thinking about those empty rooms upstairs, where your sports gear used to lay scattered and rock posters covered the walls, now just gathering a faint layer of dust from time. This house used to be so loud. Now it feels achingly empty. There are nights when the throbbing pain from my spine shoots right up to my skull. But I, or any parent at this age, choose to grit our teeth and lie in silence, we hide it away, not out of pride, but out of love, son, because it's the inevitable law of nature. I don't want to pick up the phone and call you in the middle of the night while you're wrestling with a pile of deadlines in New York. I don't want you to be anxious. I don't want my old age to rob you of your peace of mind and precious time. Birth, aging, sickness, death. It's only natural for a machine wrung out over decades to break down. You just keep spreading your wings and fly. I accept this aging as part of the journey. That's the law of nature. Nobody can fight time. And so, I wake up. Not because I'm terrified of death breathing down my neck, but because I realize the hourglass is running low, and I want to stay awake just a little longer to look at this house filled with our memories. I stay awake to fully embrace this life in the quietude, so that when dawn breaks, I remain your sturdy anchor, smiling peacefully, unburdened, uncomplaining. Out there on the horizon, dawn is beginning to cast its very first rays of light. The automatic coffee maker in the kitchen starts to sputter, releasing that familiar, rich aroma. Another sleepless night has passed. Soon enough, when the yellow school bus pulls up at the corner to pick up the neighbor's kids, I'll step out onto the porch with that familiar smile, pick up the morning paper, and take a deep breath of the crisp, cold air of a new day. So, to all you young men and women out there, relentlessly chasing the American dream, please, don't carry any guilt or sorrow when you see your parents' porch lights flick on in the middle of the night. Just do this. On your next holiday, Thanksgiving or Christmas, if you have the chance to drive back home, wake up just a little earlier. Turn on the coffee maker, fill up those 2 familiar chipped ceramic mugs, and step out onto the porch to sit beside us. You don't even have to say a word. No need for questions or agonizing. Just sit there in silence, watching the sunrise with us. Your presence, your warmth, that is the most soothing remedy, the most peaceful sleep that old folks like us crave at the final stretch of our lives. My children, old age isn't a sentence. It's just the late autumn of a human life. Don't let worries about my health or our inevitable parting steal your smiles every time you walk through that front door. Don't bother counting how many days I have left. Instead, let's make the days we have left together truly count. Let go of the worries. Don't feel guilty. Don't be sorrowful. Instead, cherish and live fully in every little ordinary moment with me. A messy, laughter-filled dinner, an afternoon hunched over fixing the lawnmower in the garage together, or simply the 2 of us sitting right here, finishing our coffee in silence. Because in the very end, when the curtain falls, what we carry with us isn't regret or medical records, but these simple yet brilliant memories. I am completely fine, and I am still right here, living every single day to the fullest, with you.